Hey everyone, Rachel here, and I'm going to show you my pre-running exercises. So this is my warm-up routine that I like to do before I go out for a run, and it's only 5 exercises. I like activation routines like this to be short and simple because if I'm doing them for like 15 or 30 minutes, I find that it's just not sustainable for me, and I just kind of want to get out the door and start running. These are just warm-up exercises that I like to do to activate my muscles before I run and make sure that I'm running as efficient as possible. So every runner is a little bit different, and based on your own strengths and weaknesses and injuries that you sustained in the past, you might need different exercises. So I'm going to link some other videos that I do in the future for different running injuries and some warm-up routines that might be good for you if you've sustained past injuries like Achilles tendonitis or even shin splints. So if you're going through those injuries, maybe you need a different routine, but this routine and these 5 exercises are good for just about every runner to activate your core and your glutes and a little bit of balance before you start running. So the first exercise I'm going to do, super simple. It's just going to be balancing on your leg for 30 seconds, and you're just balancing. Super simple, like I said. So you're going to do 30 seconds on your left leg, and then you're going to switch and do 30 seconds on your right leg. I love this exercise because it helps warm me up for balance as you're running, especially if I'm going out in the trail. I like to make sure that my balance is good before I go out and run. Also, while you're running, really you're just balancing from one leg to the next, and that's what kind of makes the running motion. So if you're getting more efficient at balancing, then you're going to be a more efficient runner anyway. So that's the very first exercise, and sometimes I'll do 2 sets of 30 seconds on each leg, sometimes just 1. It kind of depends on how balanced I'm feeling for the day. But that is the first exercise. The second exercise that we are going to do is clamshells. So I like to do these with a band. It just adds a little bit of extra resistance. So I'm going to put the band above my knees, and I'm going to lay down like this. I'm looking for a 45-degree angle. Another way that you can do this is putting your back up against the wall and your feet, the soles of your feet against the wall, so that you make sure that you have a straight line. And you're just going to move your top leg up and down like this, and do 2 sets of 8 on each side. Okay, the next exercise is a glute bridge. So you're just going to put both feet flat on the ground, lay back. Make sure that your back is flat on the ground. You don't want any space right here. And you're just going to push up with your glutes, hold for about 5 seconds, and then go down. And repeat. And then down. And do this about 10 times. You can also make this exercise a little bit harder by doing a single leg glute bridge. So raising one leg up in the air and going up and down again. And then on the other side. 2 sets of 10 on each leg, or just if you're getting used to it, both legs on the ground. So that is the third exercise. The fourth exercise is going to be a core activation exercise. So activating your core is very, very important for efficient running because everything kind of comes from your core. You don't want to be twisting a ton as you're running. That's not very efficient. You want to just be moving straight forward. So if you have a stronger core, you're able to do that a lot more efficiently. So with this exercise, kind of like the glute bridge, you're going to be laying down and you want your back flat on the ground for this entire exercise. So you're going to put your legs up in the air like this, and you're going to move one leg down and then back up. Down, hold for a couple counts, and then back up. Down, hold for a couple counts, and then back up. And do 2 sets of 30 seconds for each, for this exercise. So set a timer, do 30 seconds, wait for a little, do another 30 seconds, and that's gonna get your core warmed up to start running. That's also how you want to be while you're running. You want your back to be straight, and you wanna be activating your core exactly like that. So this is a great exercise just so that you can kind of realize how your body should be feeling while you're running and what position your torso should be in and how your core should be engaged as you run. So that's why I love this exercise before I go out and go for a run. And the very last thing that we're going to do before we go out for a run is a hip flexor stretch. So a lot of times, especially now, I feel like a lot of people's jobs are sitting down and you're in this position all day, which puts a lot of strain on your hip flexors and they are not warmed up or ready to go before you run. And if your hips aren't ready to go, if they're not flexible enough, you're going to be compensating with your hamstrings, which can lead to a lot of hamstring issues, or maybe your hips are so tight that you even have some hip issues as well. So we don't want that. So this exercise is just an exercise to get your hips a little bit more mobile. So just straightening out your leg like this, putting one leg here for a little bit of balance, and you're going to squeeze your glute, and you should be feeling a stretch right here in the front of your hip flexor. So if you don't feel it, you can move a little bit into the stretch, but a lot of people will feel it just by activating their glute right here in this position. So you're gonna hold for about 10 seconds and then back off, and then do it again, hold for another 10 seconds, 5 to 10 seconds, and then back off, hold again, back off, just a little bit of mobility, and do that about 5 to 10 times until you feel your hip loosen up, and then do it on the other side as well. So those are my 5 activation exercises. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe. That helps us get our content out to other people as well that might need or want these videos. If you're someone like I was talking about who has other running injuries, whether that's runner's knee, Achilles tendonitis, anything like that, I'm going to be making another set of videos for pre-run warm-up routines for you all. So I'll link that in the description below whenever I get around to making those videos, and then you can watch them there. So like I said, hope you enjoyed this video. Like, subscribe, and see you next time.